Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacaya Shota Shata Shishamachila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacaya Shota Shata Shishamachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki Sirup Si Sanatan Bhattaragnath Jeev Gopalavata Saragnath Sargosam Prabhu ki प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवजरी गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपाल गोपी गोपीनाथ चाम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री मायापुर धाम की श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की गंगा यमुना देवी की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्री श्री गौनीताय की श्री 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 सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जू की श्री श्री राधा रस बिहारी जू की श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे बोल समवेत भक्त वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaivaranottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Nashtapaye shabadesho nityam bhagavati sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike. Ete cham sakala pumsam krishnastu bhagavan Indriyarvyakulam lokam ridyante yuge yuge. Krishnavanam tisa Krishnam sangapangastavastadam yagya sanketarpaya yajantehi sumedasaha. Nama sanketanam yasya sarva papa pranasanam pranamaduka samanastam namami harim param. So today we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi-Lila, second chapter, entitled Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text number 98. Amsa Shaktya Vesharupe Dividhavatara Balya Poganda Dharma Duita Prakara Amsha Shaktya Vesharupa Dividhavatara Balya Poganda Dharma Duita Prakara Amsha Shaktya Vesharupe Dvividhavatara Balya Poganda Dharma Duita Prakara. You may chant. Matajis, anyone else? Answer of the plenary expansions, Shaktavesha of the empowered, Rupe in the forms, Dvividha, two kinds, Avatar, incarnations, Balya, childhood, Pauganda, boyhood, Dharma, characteristics of age, Dui, two, Ta, certainly, Prakara, kinds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. His incarnations are of two kinds, namely partial and empowered. He appears in two ages, childhood and boyhood. Purport. The Vilas forms are 6 in number. Incarnations are of two varieties, namely Shakti-Avesh, empowered, and Amsha-Avesh, partial. These incarnations also come within the category of Prabhav and Vaibhav, manifestations. Childhood and boyhood are two special features of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. But his permanent feature is his eternal form as an adolescent youth. The original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is always worshipped in this eternal adolescent form. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yanam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya-manabhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yata Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here in the beginning of this chapter, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is no different from Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. Radha Bhavadyuti Savitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. Mahaprabhu is Krishna Sarup, but we came with the bhav, the mood, the sentiments of Srimati Radharani and the luster, the duty of Srimati Radharani. Therefore he is known as Gauranga. He is of golden complexion. Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura. So inside is Krishna, outside is Gaura, or inside is blackish, Shyam Sundar. Outside he has a golden complexion. This is a verse by Jiva Goswami from Tattva Sandarbha. So explaining also. And we can see that the acharyas in their scriptures, always at the beginning they are glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Kali Yuga avatar, who has come to establish the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy names, the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he has given also the bhav, or he has explained how to chant the holy names. Because many persons may be there chanting the holy names. Even you go to South India, they're chanting the Mahamantra, but they start first with Hare Ram, because they're worshipping Ramchandra Bhagavan. Even some Mayavadis, they're chanting Hare Krishna, but they want to merge in the absolute truth in the impersonal form, the Brahmajyoti. Some they may be chanting the Mahamantra in order to go to Vaikuntha, which is all right. But Mahaprabhu, specifically, he came to give Braj Bhav. And even there, Anarbita Charim Chirakena Matuna Kala Samaripadono Jalasam Sarakti Sriyam. Specifically also Unad Ujjala Ras. Ujjvala Ras, the very bright, shining Ras. Unad, the highest Ras. 5 rasas are there in Braj. Shanta Dasya Sakya Vatsalyan Madhurya Ras. The Unad, the most exalted is Madhurya Bhav. So specifically he came to give that. Because he's not different from Radha and Krishna, and who is serving Radha Krishna? Only the gopis. Specifically, of course, the gopis in Radharani's groups. Sapaksha Gopya, they're worshipping or they're serving Radha Krishna. So here in the beginning of this chapter also, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is quoting the 3rd verse of the Adi-Lila 1st chapter, which are Mangal Charan verses, verses invoking auspiciousness, establishing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also that is not different from Krishna. So the 3rd verse is as follows. Yad advaitam pranaparishadi tadapyasana tanuba ya atmantaryami purushete samsyam iti sosyam savibhava sadaishvarya purna yahya bhagavan sasayam mayam na chaitanyat krishna jagadi paratatvam param yaham. So explaining that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna, they are Param Tattva, the highest truth. And there is no truth superior to them. So Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna is known as Swayam Bhagavan. Similarly also Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same chapter, a few verses before the present today's verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is quoting a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, I believe text number 49. Ete chamsa kalapum sam Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam Indriyar Vyakulam Lokam Ridyante Yuge Yuge. So there are many incarnations. In the first chapter of Bhagavatam, many incarnations are explained. And it's also here in the present verse. So the different manifestations are there. But the original personality of God, that is Krishna in Braj, and is known as Swayam Bhagavan. And no other incarnation, no other personality of God that is addressed as Swayam Bhagavan. Only Krishna. The others are known as Bhagavan. Bhagavan Vishnu, Bhagavan Nrsimhadev, Bhagavan Ramchandra. Of course, Ramchandra may be addressed as Purushottam. Also, Uttam Purush, greatest personality, and is known as Maryada Purushottam. He came to establish, of course, also Dharma, and especially how to act as a perfect king. And Maryada, so he was following etiquette properly. He never transgressed Maryada, Maryadolangan, but he followed Maryada, the proper conduct, sadachar, for a person who is abiding by the Vedic scriptures, who is worshipping the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Lord, but he came as a king just to show also how to act according to Vana and Ashram, how to be a perfect king, how to be a good householder, a good son. And then we have Lila Purushottam Krishna. He's performing very sweet pastimes, unparalleled pastimes in Braj, which are most beautiful. So Vishnu and the other Narayan and so on, Ramchandra, Bhagavan, so they are addressed as Bhagavan, and all the servants, they know that Vishnu, Ramchandra, Bhagavan, even Krishna in Dwarka, everyone knows Krishna is Bhagavan. So that is Aishwarya Yukta Bhakti, is their prem. The servants are worshipping these personalities of Godhead with love. But the Aishwarya is there, that Vishnu is Bhagavan, Ramchandra is Bhagavan, Dwarkadish is Bhagavan. Whereas in Braj, Krishna doesn't want to be addressed as Bhagavan, and the associates, they don't know. By Yoga Maya, by the internal potency, they don't know that Krishna is Bhagavan. So of course in material world, nobody knows that Krishna, or not many people know that Krishna is Bhagavan, but they are under the external energy, Mahamaya. Whereas the associates of Krishna, they are under the internal energy, Yoga Maya, by Krishna's will. Because Krishna is relishing that relationship also. So performing wonderful pastimes. And so there it is explained, of course, that the personalities of Godhead have unlimited qualities, but 64 are mentioned by Rupa Goswami, which are prominent. But 4 are only there in the personality of Krishna. That is Venumadurya, Krishna playing the flute. What is the effect when Krishna is playing the flute? Like Radharasbihari playing the flute. Everyone is becoming mesmerized when Krishna is playing the flute, as explained in 10th canto, 21st chapter. Wonderful effect. And the beauty, Rupa Madhurya. Vishnu is beautiful, Ramchandra is beautiful, but Krishna is most beautiful. And especially, of course, the one is with the gopis, because the gopis, they have the most exalted love. And in their association, Krishna is most pleased. And therefore, at that time, is also most beautiful. In the association of the gopis who are most beautiful. Sundari, Srimati Radharani, she is the most Mahabhav Sarupini, the highest form of love. She is the embodiment of the highest form of love. So different stages of prema there. Prem, Sneha, Man, Rag, Anurag, Bhav. Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav. So the Mahabhav is only found in the personality of Srimati Radharani. SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple. And so they are so much absorbed in each other, SriSriRadhaRasbihari. So here we can see Rasbihari is very beautiful, but his whitish in complexion. One time one devotee came, Prabhupada's godbrother, to the temple, and he said, why you have Krishna in white marble? Krishna is Shyam, Sundar, blackish. And Prabhupada is saying, I'm seeing Krishna blackish, but you're not seeing. Your problem. But actually, there's more to it also. Radha Chinta Nivesanam Yasya Kantiya Vilobita Hase Krishna Charanam Vande Radha Lingade Vigraham. When Krishna is absorbed in Srimati Radharani, sometimes his color is changing. Everyone has been in Vrindavan. Who has been in Vrindavan here? Anyone has been in Vrindavan? Most of the devotees. So there's a place known as Imlitala. There's an Imli, tamarind tree there. So, Krishna many times he performs Ras-lila. Ras, of course, is Rasbihari. And Ras-lila is a transcendental dance which is performing, especially full moon night, like Purnima Titi. And then calling the gopis by playing the flute, and only the gopis can hear, and they're going there and they're performing Ras-lila. And so one time, actually more than one time, so Radharani left the Rasa-lila, and then when Radharani is not there, then Krishna is feeling something is missing. Even though there are millions of gopis there, but he doesn't feel so much enthused, because they don't have so much love as Srimati Radharani, so he also leaves the Ras-lila. So in Vrindavan, Vamsivat, famous place where Vamsivat, so there is a banyan tree. There, under the huge banyan tree, Krishna performed Ras-lila. Radharani left and Krishna left. And then they met nearby Sringar, where is the temple of Gonitai also, now presently. And there Krishna was doing Sringar of Srimati Radharani. But then he also left her. And he went to Imlitala. And then of course when they are not together, they are thinking of each other. And so then Krishna was absorbed in Srimati Radharani. Therefore his complexion changed to golden. And then the gopis, Radharani, headed by Radharani, they were looking for Krishna. They couldn't see him. Then they also come to Imlitala. And he saw, there's one beautiful, handsome young man there. Looks like Shyama Sundar, but he's golden in complexion. And we don't see his flute and peacock feathers. So they come nearer and nearer and nearer. And of course, when Radharani comes close to Krishna, then Krishna feels that and he opens his eyes and he sees Srimati Radharani, and then his golden complexion is going away. So that is there. Even in Radhakund one time, similar pastime happened. So Krishna may change his complexion. So Krishna's pastimes in Braja are most wonderful. And so his beauty is there, his prem, madhurya, the loving exchange. And lila madhurya, wonderful pastimes. In Vaikuntha, Vishnu, Narayan, Ram, they have also pastimes. They are beautiful, wonderful. And loving exchange is there in Dwarka also. But in comparison to Braj, it is, especially for the devotees in Braj Bhav, it is not so significant. Like even after Ras-lila, when Krishna, just to trick the gopis, he took Chaturbuj Roop, and the gopis, they came in front of Krishna, who assumed the Chaturbuj, four-arm form. And they were asking, Vishnu, have you seen Krishna? And Krishna did form, no, I don't know. And they're looking here and they are not so interested in Vishnu. But then of course when Radharani is coming, then he cannot keep his form. And again Shyama Sundar is there. So, and so here, so the wonderful pastimes over there of Krishna and Braj, and so is And later on in the same chapter, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is quoting another verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satyanananda Vigranadi Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. To establish that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God and the source of everything. And as explained, I quoted one verse from Jiva Goswami, Tattva Sandarbhas. So in this book also, Tattva Sandarbha, very clearly he has given Praman from different scriptures to establish the supremacy of the Srimad Bhagavatam and to establish the fact that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without doubt, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. So whereas the other incarnations are simply parts and parcels of Krishna. And in the same chapter, one other verse which is significant is explained. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajganam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabdyate. The learned persons who have studied the Vedic literatures, they recognize the absolute truth in three features. Brahman, the personal aspect of the absolute truth, the Brahma Jyoti. Paramatma, the localized aspect of the absolute truth. Vishnu, in the heart of every living entity. It may be human being, is in our heart. Is in your heart, Paramatma? You have seen him? No, you have heard, right? Okay. That's easy to see. And we are not interested in seeing Paramatma. We want to see Krishna. So he's even there in the body of the ant. But in the body of the ant, Paramatma is a little smaller because the body is a little small. In your body, how big is Paramatma? You know? You don't know? You know? Dashangulam. Sasrachesha Purusha Sasraksha Sahasrapat Sabomim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishta Dashangulam. Dashangul. This is the size of Paramatma. This is from the Purusha Sukta. Very famous prayers are there, which the devotees are reciting sometimes when they're chanting or when they are worshipping Shaligram, or when the deities are installed. Prabhupada has mentioned, we may chant Brahma Samhita and Purusha Sukta. And when Mahaprabhu first time showed that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Shiva Sangam, he sat on the asana of the deities. And Srivas Pandit was there and he was surprised. What's going on here? Because by Yoga Maya they were not knowing that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Mahaprabhu is telling Srivas Pandit, I am the Supreme Lord you're worshipping. Now you call all the devotees here. Speaking very loudly, and then Srivas Pandit almost shaking. And then he called all the devotees. Mahaprabhu is sitting, Gauranga Sundar is sitting on the throne of the Lord. And he's explaining that he's the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, Mahaprabhu never told I'm the Supreme Lord. Even before or after. And when some people who understood it, the Supreme Lord, they were saying, oh, you're Bhagavan. No, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Because then he was there in the mood of a devotee. So then he told, when all the devotees came, now you chant the Purusha Sukta. And the Brahmanas, they know the Purusha Sukta. They should know at least. Any Brahmanas here? Any Brahmanas here? No Brahmanas here? Okay, you know Purusha Sukta? You don't know? Okay, you have to learn. The Brahmanas, they should know Purusha Sukta. So when the deities are installed, then they may chant. And of course the priests also, they do some ceremonies. Griha Pravesh, entering a new house. Or Vivah Samskar, marriage ceremony. Then they chant the Purusha Sukta. So Advaita Charya and Shivas Pandit, they were all Brahmanas. So they knew Purusha Sukta. They were chanting because Mahaprabhu told them. So, Paramatma, and then Bhagavan. So ultimately we have to worship Bhagavan. That is the last word in the Vedic literatures is to worship Bhagavan. So those who are worshipping the Brahmajyoti, they are not so exalted, although still they are accepted as Mahatmas. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, Rishabhdev is explaining to his sons, 2 kinds of Mahatmas. The impersonalists and the personalists. Of course, superior are the personalists. And, but then even those who are worshipping Vishnu or accepting the yogis who are meditating on Paramatma, they are also exalted. But we don't have a relationship. There's no what is the relationship with Brahmajyoti? Merging in the Brahmajyoti. Jivera sopo initere Krishna das. We are the eternal servants of Krishna. We are meant to serve Krishna. So if one is merging, then he cannot serve. That is Badavasta, Nitya Bada. The conditioned nature is there of the jivas also. We are the eternal servants of Krishna. And from there, as explained in the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, even those who go there to the Brahmajyoti, they cannot stay there. I mean, they can stay there for millions and trillions and years. But eventually they have to come here again to this material world. So they can realize that we are the eternal servants of Krishna. And also Paramatma. We don't have a relationship, eternal relationship with Paramatma. Because Paramatma is only in this material world, when the material world is manifested. Paramatma is the third of the 10 Purushavadara. There are 3 Purushavadara. Mahavishnu, also known as Karanadaksha Vishnu, and then Garbhadaksha Vishnu, and then Kshirodaksha Vishnu is Paramatma. And they are expansions of Mahashankarshan. Shankarshan, who is the expanded form of Mool Shankarshan in Dwarka. Mool Shankarshan is Balaram. But Adi Balaram is in Braj. And Balaram in Dwarka is known also as Mool Shankarshan. So that is the situation. So he's there to help us so we can understand that Krishna is Bhagavan or Vishnu is Bhagavan or Ramchandra is Bhagavan. And then is okay, is in the backside. And then we can continue. So here in the 3rd verse of the Adi-Lila, that has been explained. What the Upanishads describe as impersonal Brahman. His body, effulgence of his body, and the law known as the super soul is but his localized planetary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences, Sad Aishwarya Purna, most complete. Vishnu is also Sad Aishwarya Purna, but not as complete as Krishna. So beauty is there, knowledge is there, opulence is there. And then also, ultimately, renunciation. But the highest limit that is found in the personality of Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is no different than SriSriRadha and Krishna. Always residing in the spiritual realm. So Vaikuntha, unlimited Vaikuntha planets are there, where the different Vishnu Murtis are situated with different names. The highest planet is known as Golok, no. Krishna Loka. And Krishna Loka is divided in 4. What are the 4 parts in Krishna Loka? Anyone knows? 4 parts in Krishna Loka. Dwarkapuri, Mathurapuri, Golok, Braj Vrindavan, Golok, and the innermost part of Golok is Braj. That is the 3rd and the 4th. Svetadip Navadvip, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eternally residing. So, but when the material world is manifested, then Krishna is coming once in the day of Lord Brahma. And after that, Mahaprabhu is appearing also. But they are coming here, it doesn't mean they are not there. They are there and they are here also. So he has established, and then again just to make it clear to everyone, so he has established that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here in the beginning already is explaining that Mahaprabhu is not different. And then there are many quotes actually in the Vedic literatures also to show that Mahaprabhu is not different. Even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna vanamti sa Krishnam sangapangasta pasadam yagyai sankitrapaya yajanti hi sumedasa. So those who are intelligent, sumedasa, in the age of Kali, they will understand that Sri Krishna Chaitanya is no different from Krishna. But he is not blackish in color. So Krishna means blackish, but Krishna can also mean the all attractive. Kris means all attractive. Krish. And the Na means Anand. So Krishna is most attractive and is source of all transcendental bliss. So according to Sanskrit, many words can, one word can have different meanings. And different words may describe one object. Just like Krishna, many meanings are there of Krishna, of the word Krishna Atma. Atma, that can refer to actually the Supreme Lord, Paramatma. It can refer to ourselves as Atma, spirit soul, but also it can refer to the subtle body and the gross body. According to Shabdakosh, the Sanskrit dictionary. And Guru can have many meanings also. Guru can be spiritual master, or the elders, Guru Jan, father and mother, they are accepted as Guru Jan. Guru means also heavy. And like we have the letters, so A is Lagu, long A, that is Guru. So different meanings of Guru. And like for example, we have the sun. So different names for the sun. Surya, Bhaskar, Aditya, Ravi, and so on. Other names are there. 12 prominent names. So, firmly, Krishnadas Kaviraj is firmly establishing the fact that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he's showing that Mahaprabhu is no different. Krishna varamti sa Krishnam sangapangas tapasadam yagya sankitapaya yajanti sumeda saha. So those who are intelligent, they will worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has come with his associates. And Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar, and so on. And he's always engaged in doing what? What is he doing? Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And so, even in the 7th canto, there is one verse also explaining about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Channa Avatar, the hidden avatar. Because actually Mahaprabhu, he doesn't want to be addressed as the Supreme Lord. And also because actually Mahaprabhu, so he appeared during the Sandhya. Like with those who are have Brahman initiation, they will chant the Gayatri during the Sandhya. Yasastri Sandhyam. Morning time, just at the time of the sunrise. That is known as Sandhya. 24 minutes before and 24 minutes after the sunrise. This 48 minutes, that is known as Sandhya. And noon, and then evening time at sunset also the Sandhya is there. And noon time, the time between the sunrise and the sunset, that is known as the Sandhya in the noon time. During that time we should chant the Gayatri, that is most auspicious. Especially the Brahma Gayatri, Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Ityadi. Otherwise one will not get the full benefit. The other Gayatris you may chant other times also. So similarly, for example, we have the 4 yugas. Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali Yuga. It is not changing that Satya Yuga, one day the next day is Dwapar Yuga. No. There's a change of a few thousand years for the things to deteriorate. In Satya Yuga, people, they live up to 100,000 years. But towards the end of Satya Yuga, they live maybe 50,000 years, 40,000 years, 30,000 years. Not bad, right? But then in the Treta Yuga, they live only up to 10,000 years. Only 10,000 years. Of course, in our time now, if we live up to 100, then we are lucky. And so that is Sandhya is there. And then from Treta to Dwapar, so it's also declining. And towards the end of Treta Yuga, they live 2,000 years maybe. And then in Dwapar Yuga, 1,000 years. And towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, also declining, maybe 400-500 years. So even in the Kali Yuga, some yogis are there, they can live many years because they're controlling the breathing. So that time when the yuga is changing, that is known as Sandhya. So when the avatar is appearing, doing the Sandhya, it is not counted. It is not mentioned in the scriptures. So Mahaprabhu appeared, as we know, 500 years ago, 537. So that is in the Sandhya of Dwapar to Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga very degraded. Why Bhagavan should come in Kali Yuga? So Mahaprabhu is coming just towards the end of the Sandhya. And Kalki Avatar, if he is coming towards the end of the Kali Yuga, that is also during the Sandhya. The things are getting worse, but then it is going to change to Satya Yuga. At that time is coming. Therefore the Lord is also known as Tri Yuga. Is appearing in three yugas, an incarnation. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, but not in Kali Yuga. No incarnation in Kali Yuga. But by Mahaprabhu's mercy, he came and then he gave Krishna Nam. And Krishna and Krishna Nam are not different. So by chanting Krishna Nam, we are associated with Krishna. Nama Chittamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasavigaha Purna Shuddha Nityamukta Abhinatvam Nama Naminaha. Krishna, Krishna Nam are non-different. So by chanting Krishna Nam, then we can become purified and we can be liberated. And also another manifestation is there of the Lord. That is the Archa Vigraha, Archa Avatar, the deities which are established. Here mercifully by Srila Prabhupada, Sri Gaunitaya Ki, SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple Vishaka Devi Ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Jo Ki. So by Prabhupada's mercy, they have come here. So they are known as Archa Avatar, also non-different from Radha Krishna in the spiritual world. By the mercy of the pure devotee, they are manifesting. And then we can serve them. And in this way, we can remember them. And then we can make advancement in spiritual life. But the most important activity is chanting the holy names. But without hearing about Krishna, about Mahaprabhu, without serving the deities, it will be very difficult to chant Shuddhanam. What is Shuddhanam? Shuddhanam is the pure name. When you're chanting, you sing Krishna and Krishna's pastimes. So that is only possible after chanting for a long time and performing devotional service for a long time. So therefore we have to hear about Mahaprabhu, we have to hear about Krishna, and we have to serve Mahaprabhu, we have to serve Krishna. And by doing that, there is a reciprocation, and then while chanting we can remember Mahaprabhu and Krishna, and then the proper chanting will be there, without offenses, namabhas. And then after we can come to Shuddhanam. Even there it is not one day chanting with offenses, the next day no offense, no. Slowly but surely become cleansed, the heart becomes cleansed. And then we can chant, then the reflection of the holy name is there. Nama Bhas is not the real name. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining, so the devotee who is chanting with offenses is known as Prakrita Bhakta, materialistic devotee. The devotee who is chanting Nama Bhas is Bhakta Bhas. Is a semblance of a devotee, is not yet really devotee. But one who is chanting Shuddhanam is a Shuddha Bhakta, is a pure devotee, he is a real devotee. So therefore we are saying always we are trying to become devotees, we are trying to be a Bhakta. So that should be the mode. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he came to establish the Yuga Dharma, the chanting the holy names. And by doing that, so we can make rapid advancement and we may attain perfection. So, also specifically in this verse, of course, so he was explaining about these different manifestations of the Lord, known as Bhav, Vaibhav, Prakash, and so on. And here specifically is explaining about two kinds of incarnations. So partial and empowered. And Prabhupada is explaining Shakti-Avesh, those who are empowered, they may be Vishnu Tattva, they may be Jiva Tattva also. Like even Narada Muni's. Of course, sometimes different places it is mentioned differently, but mostly is accepted as Jiva, but is empowered. Even actually Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada explained about Jesus Christ, the Shakti-Avesh avatar. And then the devotees of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, and even we may say Prabhupada is actually Shakti-Avesh avatar. He was empowered to spread bhakti throughout the world. Otherwise it is not possible, as is mentioned also in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Shakti nahi, Krishna Shakti bina nahi tava. What is it? Krishna Shakti bina. So without being empowered by Krishna, we cannot preach this Krishna consciousness. So that is one thing here. Of course, there are so many. That is also explained here and in Srimad Bhagavatam quite elaborately about the different expansions of the Lord. The partial or the empowered and so on. But here one more point is made by Krishna Das, two kinds of ages, childhood and boyhood. Balya and Poganda. So when Krishna is appearing, till he's 3 years and 4 months, that is known as Balyavasta. He's appearing as a baby. And he's acting a little bit like a baby, but he's still Swayam Bhagavan. He's Sarvagya, he knows everything. And all powerful. But he's Mugdha also becomes bewildered by his own potency. Like when Mother Yashoda, so when Krishna, so she was feeding Krishna milk, breast milk, and then on the gas stove the milk was boiling, so he took care of the milk. And she put Krishna down. So Krishna is Atmaram Aptakam, is fully self-satisfied. But transcendently, he wanted to drink more milk. And he became transcendently a little angry. Oh, I wanted to drink more milk, and she let me here down on the floor. He goes to the next room and he breaks the pots, takes some butter, and gives to the monkeys also, his friends, or some yogurt. So the monkeys also in the spiritual world. And even there are dogs in the spiritual world. 2 dogs are there known as Brahmaraka and Vyagra. And monkeys, you know monkey's name, Krishna's? His best monkey friend? Daddy Loba, he is greedy for daddy, for yogurt. So all the cows, they all have names. So Krishna distributing some yogurt and butter to the monkeys there who are coming, and some of his little friends are there. And then Maria Yashoda, she comes back and she sees Krishna is gone. And she's running behind Krishna. So Krishna, so at that time, so I'm the son of Maria Yashoda, is in that mood. And he's Mugdha, transcendentally bewildered, not knowing that is the Supreme Lord by his own potency. Lila Shakti. And then Maria Yashoda, she's chasing Krishna. And then she's catching Krishna, trying to bite him. And then again he's Sarvagya, he knows everything. But before, he was Mugdha and he's crying. And tears are coming from his eyes because he was afraid of Maria Yashoda. And he's not playing, now I have to play as a child, now I have to show her that I'm crying. No. He's really crying. That is Adabhut Lila of Krishna. But then a little later he knows everything. And Maria Yashoda trying to bind him and she cannot. The rope is short by 2 fingers. She's taking more ropes, again 2 fingers short. But then she's perspiring and almost crying. And then when Krishna is seeing that she's endeavoring, then she can bind him. That is his mercy. So by Krishna's, we have to endeavor, then by Krishna's mercy we can catch Krishna. We can bind Krishna in our heart. So, Adi-Lila, so the childhood pastimes, giving so much pleasure to especially Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba, and all the, especially the Brijavasis in Vatsalya Bhav. And the others are playing a little bit, and little relationship is there with his friends, but not much yet. But then in the next Pauganda, from 3 years and 4 months till 6 years and 8 months. So 3 years and 4 months he's staying in Gokul. So he appeared there, right? You know where Krishna appeared? Where did he appear, Krishna? Mathura. Okay. What are you saying, Mathura? Yeah, he appeared in Mathura? Yes, that is Vasudeva Krishna. But Yashodanandan, Nandanandan, he appeared at the same time in Gokul. Confirmed. You hear the bell? Confirmation. It is the truth. Prabhupada is explaining and the Acharyas have explained. And then Vasudev, he took his son. Vasudev, he brought him to Gokul. And Mother Yashoda had just given birth first to Krishna, her son. And then she was a little tired, although Krishna had appeared effortlessly. There was no labor pain for Mother Yashoda, but still she was a little tired. And then she turned around, and Krishna was behind. And then who appeared? The younger sister, Yogamaya Subhadra. So when Vasudev took his son Vasudev, he didn't see Krishna because Krishna was behind Mother Yashoda. So he took the little girl and put Vasudev Krishna there. And then Vasudev Krishna jumped over, or maybe went through Mother Yashoda and entered Yashodanandan's body. So that is there. And even Balaram. So Adi Balaram is there, is the son of Mother Rohini. When she was pregnant, she was brought by Vasudev. Vasudev had, I believe, 18 wives. Most prominent are Rohini and Devaki. So then, she was there pregnant, and the 7th pregnancy of Devaki is also Shankarshan. But that is Mool Shankarshan from Dwarka. And so then it was mentioned there was a miscarriage. But actually, Yogamaya transferred Mool Shankarshan from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. And Mool Shankarshan, he merged into, or he entered into Adi Balaram, the son of Rohini. And then later on, Krishna and Balaram, they went to Mathura. But actually, Krishna and Balaram, they're not living Braj, they're always in Braj. But then Vasudev Krishna and Mool Shankarshan, they're manifesting from Adi Krishna, Adi Purush Krishna and Adi Balaram. And Vasudev and Mool Shankarshan, Balaram are going to Mathura and then to Dwarka. So 3 years and 4 months in Gokul, and then after that, because there were many demons, and they were thinking, all the Brijvasis, not suspicious this place. First they were in Nandagaon, and Nanda Baba, he was already old, no child. He was thinking, maybe this place is not suspicious, let us go to somewhere else. And they went to Gokul. And then Krishna appeared there. They were all happy, but for a little while only. And then so many demons came, one after the other. And Krishna killed them. Or Vasudev Krishna actually. And then they were thinking, too many problems here, let us go somewhere else. So they took their cows and bulls, and they went with the bullock carts. They went to a place, if you go to Vrindavan, there's a place known as Chatikara. Anyone remembers? If you go to Vrindavan, Chatikara. That is where they stayed. Chatikara means the chariot they were taking and they were making a circle. Almost closed, only a little opening was there. So people could come in and out. They put all the bullock carts in the circle. Therefore the name came Chatikara. And so they stayed there for 3 years and 4 months. And Radharani, she appeared in, where she appeared? Raval. Yes, during this day in this day of Lord Brahma. So, a little later than Krishna, 1 year and 2 weeks later. So this time they were already walking a little bit. Krishna Balram. And so when she appeared, she could not see because she only wants to see Shyam Sundar. The first thing she wants to see is Shyam Sundar. Therefore she did not see when she appeared. And Vishwabhanu Maharaj was a little anxious. But then, at the birthday celebration of Radharani, Nanda Baba was invited because they were friends, Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Nanda Baba. And then Krishna went there to the place where she was taking rest. And then when Krishna was in front of Radharani, she first time opened her eyes. Srimati Radharani ki, Shyama Sundar ki. So then when Krishna, of course his parents are there, but through Lila Shakti when he's in Chatikara, then Vrishabhanu Maharaj is thinking, I should also move. And he goes to a place known as Vasanti or Ral, which is nearby of Chatikara, so they could still be together. And then the childhood pastimes are starting there of Krishna, the Poganda Lila of Krishna, then he's making friendship with other Gopas. And then at a certain point, when he was around 5 years old, this on Good Pashtami in the month of Kartik in Shukla Paksha, bright fortnight, first time Krishna, there's a ceremony performed, and first time Krishna is taking now the cows and the calves. First the calves actually, and then 1 year later maybe then the cows. So that the pastimes with the friends are very prominent there. And the exchange with Mother Yashoda. And then first time Krishna is also, or a little more regularly, sometimes meeting the gopis, but not much. And then at the bank of the Jamuna, the gopis, some of the gopis, the new gopis, who entered Krishna Lila, so they were doing Katyayani Vrat in order to have Krishna as their husband or their beloved. But then after, when Krishna is 6 years and 8 months old, then Nanda Baba is deciding is to go back to Nandagaon, and Vrishabhanu Maharaj is going back to Varshana. And then Radha Krishna's pastimes are becoming most prominent. And that Prabhupada, it is not mentioned in the verse, but in purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining. So childhood and boyhood are two special features of the personality of God, that's Krishna. But his permanent feature is his eternal form as an adolescent youth. That is known Kishoravasta, after Pauganda, also known as Navayovana, ever youthful form. Kishoravasta, around 15 years old. That is his eternal age in Golok Vrindavan, is always 15 years old. He never appeared, he's always there since time more 15 years old. But in this world, the Naimitical Lila is there, and the childhood pastimes are there, and the boyhood pastimes are there, and they are also glorified. But the most important pastimes are there and as an adolescent. Fresh youth, Kishore, Kishori, Navayovana, Avasta. And actually the Gopi Bhav, so the Madhurya Bhav, that is known as Adiras. The original mellow relationship that is between Radha and Krishna. And all the other rasas are there to support the Adiras of Radha and Krishna. That is according to the Acharyas. So therefore we worship Krishna mostly in that form. And Mahaprabhu, he came to give this bhav, the bhav of the gopis, unat ujjala ras. And so therefore Prabhupada, so he established here Radharasbihari. And many, all over the world, of course, he established Radha Krishna deities. But of course Gonitai also, because without Gonitai's mercy we cannot approach Radha Krishna. In some, as here Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, because there are some devotees of Sitaram also. And so Krishna is catching all the Bada Jivas, like a fisherman, he has the net and catching many fish. So Krishna is catching, Prabhupada catching many Jivas. So some of them will be devotees of Sitaram, some of them may be devotees of Lakshminarayan, but mostly the devotees, they will be worshipping Radha Krishna. But some they may worship Krishna Balaram also. Therefore, Prabhupada established Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan and some other places, Mayapur also, in France, New Mayapur. Because some devotees will be there in Sakha Bhav, some devotees will be there in Vatsalya Bhav, some devotees will be there in Dasya Bhav, the servants of Krishna. Like, you know any servants of Krishna in Braj? You? Say any name of any servants of Krishna in Braj? Name? You know any name? Yeah, okay, say one name. Prabhupada? No, servant of Krishna in Braj. Prabhupada is there in which form? In Braj. Nikunja yuno ratikeli siddha yayali bir yuktira peksaniya. So these are the gopis. Most of our acharyas are gopis, like the six Goswamis. They are gopis in Braj. So the name of the servants of Krishna in Braj. Raktak, Patrak. The making, Krishna likes palm leaves and the betel nut. So they are making and they are giving. There's a dhobi there washing the cloth. Krishna is not washing his cloth because he's the son of the king. And he has beautiful hair, no need to cut the hair. But still there's a nai, there's a barber there also, trimming the hair a little bit. So these are servants. But there's a loving relationship with the servants also. But when Krishna is there and the parents are there, he will not embrace them because he's the son of the king. But when they are not there, he may embrace them also. But they will on their own, they will not embrace. But the friends, Sudam, Sridam, because they are Gopas also, Krishna is embracing them. So wonderful pastimes. Anyway, it is 9:10. We're supposed to stop. We are over time, but if there's one question, we can take one question and answer. But I think everything is clear, right? Everything is clear? On the way back to Godhead, to Golok? Easy, right? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And take Mahaprasad. Any question? Yes, Prabhuji behind has one question.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So regarding in front of deities, Archa Vigrahas.
Regarding?
Archa Vigrahas.
Archa Vigraha, yes.
So we understand it is not Murti, it is not a stone, but it
While
is a
Murti, yes, name is Archa Vigraha Murti. You can say Murti, but it is transcendental, yes.
So whatever we offer to Krishna, that becomes transcendental.
Yes.
So like flower, food, even stone, it becomes transcendental. It has nature. But in my experience, in a material condition, we see this flower after some time, it gets
yes, is wilting.
Yeah, wrinkly.
Yes.
Similarly, food gets stinked after some time, even though it is prasadam.
Yes.
So how do we understand the transcendental nature of this?
Of these items. How to understand the transcendental nature of these items. Yes. Yes, it is transcendental. But at the same time, we have to understand we are in this material world. And the laws of material nature are there. They cannot be stopped. But, so therefore, just like, even if a pure devotee is taking birth, but then he's getting older also, and he has to give up his body. But he's not affected. But the body is getting old, you cannot avoid. But the pure devotee is not so much affected by old age or disease. Only a little bit affected. But Krishna, of course, is completely transcendental, And so therefore, even when he's 125 years old, when he was in Kurukshetra, he was 89 years old. But he was still looking like a young man of 25 years old. Because Krishna is completely transcendental, it is completely beyond the modes of material nature. But other things of this world, now we have a flower. The flower, it is a material object. The flower, you pick your roses. It is material. But you offer to the Lord, then it becomes prasad. It is transformed and it is spiritual. Therefore we respect the flowers and we are careful. But still the nature is there of a material object, of a flower, and that cannot be changed. Only sometimes by special mercy, but it is very rare. Usually it will decay. Same as a pure devotee's the body, like Prabhupada, is transcendental, but he is in this world, having accepted the body by the Lord's will, and then he's also subjected to some extent to the laws of this material nature. So that is unavoidable. So that we have to understand. But sometimes we have heard also that one time Srinivasacharya, he was meditating on the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And then he saw Mahaprabhu. And he got the garland from Mahaprabhu. So that garland was transcendental. And that stayed for a long time. So but otherwise, because these are material objects, even if they are offered to the Lord, they may stay a little longer, but then still the decay is there. That is unavoidable. Only very rarely by some special arrangement, then it may stay a little longer. So that is there, that we have to understand. So the material objects, when they are offered to the Lord, they become spiritual, but still the laws of nature are there. And that the changes are there, and the decay is there. But we worship the flowers which are offered like this garland, and we're not throwing it away, but we're keeping as much as possible. But at some point, then if it is drying, and there's no use, then we may put it in a sacred place. That is a system. You're not throwing away the garlands, but you put in the sacred place. Usually before it was put in the holy river, and then it will disintegrate. Now what we do usually, you bury in a place, in a holy place. Or you bury on the ground and you make sure that nobody will step onto that. Or sometimes it may be also used to put, to make as a kind of fertilizer and put in the ground. Then it's like then, for example, you have some flowers, and the old flowers, and you make fertilizer and you put there, and it is nectar because it is prasad. Like we are eating prasad, so the flowers get prasad. And they become nice flowers, and then they can be offered. Like this, okay? Hare Krishna, yes.
Hare Krishna. Usually we see that in Nandabhavan, in Nandagaon there is Nandabhavan.
In Nandagaon there is Nandabhavan, yes.
And in Gokul Sahasra, that Kamba is there.
Yeah, that is also.
We don't see any living place in Vrindavan. Where did Krishna live, and that Nandabhavan is not there in Vrindavan?
Yes.
No trace?
Yes.
No trace of any such building?
No, there's no trace. Because they didn't make any building there. It is not mentioned that they didn't make any buildings, but they had the bullock carts. And they were camping with the bullock carts, and they had tents. And they were living simple for some time. And then after some time, then they felt, now we should go back to our palace. So that is there. There are no buildings there because they never made any building. They lived in the simple way for 3 years and 4 months. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So we have some Mahaprasad from Vrindavan. Of course, I'm sure you're getting Mahaprasad from here also. But here we have some Mahaprasad from Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So when is the fasting of the brain? Yeah. Till which time?
Time is okay. Now,
Till which time? Because I also have to.
7:15 to 10:25.
10:50. 10:15. To break the fast also. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Ragana Raghunathan